is up, everybody? It's your boy, Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns, and today we have a very special guest with me. Joining me from the What's Wrong with Wrestling podcast, Eric Slamilton Hamilton. What's up,
What's
Eric?
going
How we
on?
doing?
Good, good. Just got home from work and
Yeah, yeah,
ready to talk some wrestling.
yeah. Now, I had to show off just a little, uh,
Right.
of course.
Yeah. I literally walked through the door, so I was gonna throw one on, but
Yeah,
I figured I'd stay dressed up for the occasion.
you're good, man. I appreciate you. But yeah, so yeah, Uh, big wrestling fan, of course, Eric is. So we are going to dive into some wrestling questions. The
Yeah.
fans of the What's Wrong with Wrestling podcast also have some questions, and there's some interesting ones in there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know how the fans are. So that should be,
Right.
yeah. Alrighty, let's just dive in. So
Yeah. Let's do
the
it.
podcast started in 2015.
Yes.
Wow, 8 years. That's crazy. How did it come to be?
It was the brainchild of Joe and Andrew.
Really? Okay.
Um, they were watching wrestling. I think this is the lore of it. They were watching wrestling and they're like, God, it is just gotten so bad. Like it's awful.
Yeah.
And so they're like, well, what if we did a podcast? Podcasts were around, but they weren't like everywhere like they were. Like it's crazy how far we've come in a few short years.
Yeah.
So they've been doing the podcast for a while, and then they'd have random people on here and there, and so one week they asked if I wanted to do it, and I was like, hey, yeah, sure, this sounds fun. And they asked me back a couple weeks later, and then it was like every other week, and then it was just like then I just kept showing up every week. Like
Yeah.
they couldn't get rid of me at that point.
Yeah.
And I'd known them before the podcast, so we already had kind of like that relationship. But yeah, it's been a great like 8 years for sure. I've really enjoyed it. I've gone to a lot more wrestling events than I probably would have without the podcast. I definitely watch a lot more wrestling than I do currently. Like if I wasn't watching the podcast, I probably wouldn't be watching much at all. I'd probably watch YouTube clips here and there.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Sometimes it's just to get through that 3 hours of Raw. It's just like,
right. It is, and it's like we all have our mark out moments, and I think I'm like a mark for live events.
I feel you. I don't blame you one bit.
Right. There's something about like, especially like WrestleMania, like you can go in and you can tailgate for a few hours and get pretty drunk and come in and just start yelling the most random stuff. And like, I'm the guy who tries to like entertain everyone around me. So, of course I'm yelling like everything I can, just to keep people. I get one laugh and that's it. Like I'm done for like the rest of the night. Like, oh, I got a fan. Like, let's go.
Yeah. All you
So,
need is one.
All you need is one.
Yeah.
That's it.
We'll go through some comments. Dino says, yeah, let's go, Bobby. Thanks for being here, Dino. My editor says, let's see what Bobby's breaking down today. Ryan says, what's up, Eric?
What's up, Ryan?
And then we have Nate Smythe.
Oh, geez.
Pizza, yeah.
Can't get rid of this guy.
And I will be with him virtually Saturday night to do WrestleMania predictions.
Nice.
Yeah, I invited him, and he's super excited. So
yeah,
I think it's his stream debut. So that would be interesting.
Yeah. No, I've been fortunate enough to hang out with Nate a few times. Yeah. Nate and Nathan.
Yeah.
They're our first multi-generational Patreons on What's Wrong with Wrestling. So that's always awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. I saw Nate. Was it 2 weeks ago now? At this point.
You were at the con.
Yeah, the Cherry Hill. He came in, met Charlie Hunnam, then he was gone.
Yeah,
didn't blame him. Yeah,
right,
yeah. He was like, he got there before me somehow. Well, that was a mess, but Kirsten says, "Hey everyone." Nate says, "I am excited." There you go.
Right. Yeah,
Ryan.
we've got our prediction show next week, and I'm still on the fence about so many matches. Like it's such a coin flip. It could really go either way. You know, we all know the term like Hunter's kids,
Yeah.
and it's like Vince screwed all of them so bad. It's like, okay, well, come on, they've gotta like redeem themselves this time.
Why not? Says Bobby's breakdown fire emoji. Thank you
Why
very
not?
much. Yeah, yeah, right. Nate said I bounced in all caps. Yes, he did.
Like a Super Ball.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I got him to the line, and then that was the last I saw of him.
Right.
Yeah, and
Might
I
as
got
well
to
just
meet.
start hanging up missing posters after that.
Yeah, I got to meet his mom. That was cool. But
Oh, nice.
yeah. But if I had to put you on the spot right now, Bray Wyatt, what's going on there?
Man.
I know.
So it seems like Bray Wyatt is too genius for his own good.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he has so much he wants to do, and he has a vision in his head of how he wants to see things come about. Yeah. And if it's not done exactly like that, it's like he dips, He dips.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
Right. Like he predicted it years ago, every time you hear dip. It was just great. I mean, I know he had some issues after Brody Lee died. And we've all been there. But it's a tough life. It's a tough job. There's a lot of things that happen behind the curtain that we don't know about. Mm-hmm. And, maybe he had to take a step back for his own good. But, as much as we love his genius, maybe he just doesn't know how he wants to give it to us.
Yeah. I mean, him losing to Goldberg didn't help.
Oh, Jesus.
We're coming up, Goldberg, I think,
right.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Over 3 years ago, yeah. Right. February.
Goldberg got Bray, Goldberg got Owens, it was just like...
Goldberg got everybody.
Hey, what do you guys like? Because Goldberg's going to come and ruin it for you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I still remember, I was like, Goldberg.
Right. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah. All right. Ryan says, Ryan is asking, which celeb will be a surprise at WrestleMania? I'm guessing Jenna Ortega or Jake Paul. Jake Paul is definitely possible. Jenna Ortega?
I mean, now if you're talking just in the crowd,
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised at Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Adam Sandler's been to a few events. They always kind of spotlight him. It's Hollywood. I could see Freddie Prinze Jr. being there. He's a big wrestling guy.
Yeah.
As far as getting any celebrities involved, so I watched the Oscars, right? Okay. And they had the red carpet thing. Yeah. And so I guess for the first time they're like, oh, we're going to have a new interviewer. It's just some guy who's popular on TikTok. Yeah. So no one who has what it takes or anything. It's just I talk about movies on TikTok, and here I am interviewing at the Oscars. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have some famous TikToker who talks wrestling doing something. I imagine that's how Sam Roberts got there.
Yeah. Hey, if you can do it, by all means.
Right, sure. I mean, shit, if I was TikTok famous, and they approached me, I'd probably do it, but still.
Ryan says Bobby's celebs look... Thank you so much, Ryan.
Oh, wow.
I'll take that any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Can we get a Billy Madison gibberish rant?
No.
Oh, okay.
I won't even bother.
All right. Fair enough.
Back to school. That's all I can do.
Teleboo. Stabadoo.
Yeah. Nate says who main events night one. We know who it should be. I mean, I would give it to Usos and Zayn and Owens.
Sure, sure.
But
I mean,
who will it be?
I still feel like it's probably going to be Charlotte Ripley.
Yeah,
Which,
that's what I was thinking.
if you're going to let Ripley win and give her her moment,
Yeah,
by all means,
yeah.
do it. But
Who
if
will
you're
they?
just going to have her lose to Charlotte, no.
Yeah,
It needs to be Owen. Like, it has to be a win we all want to see.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those, like, send the crowd home happy
Yeah, for sure.
moments,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I hope. I mean, I think Ripley beats her. I think. I hope.
Right, right.
I pray.
I
Ryan
mean,
says, "Shut up,
it's
Swan."
it's a different Rhea than the one she fought years
Yeah,
ago, you know?
yeah,
But it's the same Charlotte, which is
yeah,
funny.
yeah. It's yeah,
You know, it's funny how like you can see a character grow and evolve and get better, and someone just goes stagnant.
yeah.
Yeah,
And she came back in what, December? I think she was the last show of the year, and I was like, okay, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, it was the last SmackDown of the year, I think, and it
yeah.
was like, and now she's just the same thing. And it's like, well, you
Right.
were gone 7 months.
And you're nothing. The only thing different about you is they remixed your music.
Yeah, it's like, come on. I mean, she's a great athlete, great in ring.
Sure.
Can't deny that, but like, do something character wise,
Right.
like,
Yeah. Come on.
yeah. All
Charisma.
right.
Charisma is always something we look for.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. All right. So you mentioned it when you first joined the podcast. When did you start watching wrestling?
So I watched wrestling when I was a little kid. You know, when it was all superhero stuff. Never a Hulk Hogan fan. I was like
Oh yeah.
Macho. I was like Macho, like Sergeant Slaughter. I liked Ultimate Warrior. You know, I never got up. You know, I never said my prayers or took my vitamins. You know, I didn't start saying brother and dude till I start saying it. Ironically, a few years ago. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
He's consistent with that take, by the way, folks.
yeah.
He is. I give him credit.
Right. Right. You got it, dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
Dude.
dude. So I stopped watching for like a few years, maybe when I was like 8 or 9,
Okay.
and then I picked it back up again when I was like 15. And
Uh-oh. Seems like we're having some technical difficulties, folks. Uh-oh. There we go.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
saw you go frozen. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw you go frozen. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, was that on my end? Oh.
Who knows? It could it could go either way.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I picked it back up when I was 15. I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
So, and I've been watching it consistently since I was 15.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I started when I was 9, and I really thought I would get out of it eventually. I'm 27 now.
Yeah.
I'm 27
Right.
now, and I'm going to WrestleMania in California.
Right. You know, I think like one of the biggest mark out moments I ever had, like watching it on TV, is, you know, during WrestleMania 2000. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
the one with the shitty Fatal 4-Way.
The Fatal, yeah. McMahon in every corner, right? Is that 2000? Uh-oh. Here we go again. He'll be back eventually, hopefully. I don't want to. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was making sure I'm on like the right Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I feel
here.
you. No worries. It's part of the game.
Okay. Yeah. So the biggest markout moment I had, watching WrestleMania 2000, and then I remember they played the commercial for WrestleMania 17, and this was like before like internet and like sources and everything. And when it was like WrestleMania comes to Houston, like me and my friends lost our minds. Like we were like, we have to get tickets. And out of like the 5 of us that were watching WrestleMania, I was the only one who got tickets. Like me and my brothers went, you know. So yeah, you know, that was my first Mania. It was an incredible experience, and I think that kind of cemented it.
Yeah, locked you in.
Right, yeah. Because I went to a WCW Nitro that was in the Astrodome before that,
Wow.
and that did not cement it. That was terrible. Yeah.
That's funny.
Like,
Yeah.
if I had known like what MJF was going to be famous for, like his famous line, I
Yeah.
totally would have said it at that show, because like me and my dad were like pretending like, oh, we can see Sting up in the rafters, and people were like, oh, what? And then one guy's like, oh yeah, I see him. You I don't know if you swear on here, but it was just like, oh,
Go
come on.
for it.
It was like, you fucking Mark,
There you
you
go.
don't see him. I made it up.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I went to Dynamite. Was it 2 years ago now?
Uh
Or
huh.
I don't even remember. But my one buddy, he's a big Sting fan, and we're like in the upper deck. I'm like, yo, 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 and he's like, he's going,
Right.
he's like,
Yeah.
he's like looking for it.
Right. Yeah. People losing their mind.
Yeah. So OTS Danny says, let's go. Bobby's Breakdown's tuning in. Thank you, Danny, for joining us. A little behind. Nate says beef stroganoff better. Oh.
Hulkaroos and Hulkayoos.
Ryan says, I missed the ECW days. I started with Sabu and RVD around 0405. I stopped in like 2011. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember when ECW used to be on like TNN or something for like an
Yeah.
hour. They had like the weirdest TV deal, but they're on there.
Yeah. Clout God Harley. Let's go breakdown.
That is a picture.
Oh, yeah. I love you, Bobby. I love you too, Harley.
Oh.
And Ryan says, Harley, the man, the myth, the legend. I had to do it. I had to do it. Somebody's got to do it,
The man, the mark, the legend.
Yeah. Okay. Eric and Bobby, what is the best match you've seen live? Ooh.
Oh, live.
I have mine. Go for it though. You're first.
All right. So the best match I've seen live was Taker Shawn 1, WrestleMania 25.
Yeah.
The best moment I've seen live was Owens winning the title.
Yeah. So my best match and my best moment are kind of the same, and this is cheating a little, but I don't care.
Okay.
The 2020 Men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah. 2020. The
match. Drew and Edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That was here.
Yep. Yeah. I was there in Houston. I met you. That was the first time I met you guys.
Yeah.
And I did get put on TV during Edge's return. That plays a part in it. But otherwise, my funnest match I've ever seen. This will surprise you. Last year in Dallas, Knoxville and Zayn. That match was so fun.
It was fun. Like it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. No, I was amazed by the end of it.
Right. Like I feel like Sammy was like the perfect guy for that, because I feel like if you would put any other person in that spot, they would have just been like, what is this stupid bullshit? What are we doing? Like it would have gone to No Cell City, and it would have fallen flat. I think Sammy really made that match. I think he elevated himself and Knoxville for sure.
Oh yeah. And look where he is a year later. He was just challenging for the title in his home country.
Biggest face in the company.
Yeah. I mean, because when it was first announced, I'm like, oh, Zayn versus Knoxville. But by the end of it, I'm like, that was a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah. Harley says the keys to life. Ryan's last name is Keys. The whole family's legendary. Thank you, Harley. Shout out to Justin, man. We have Juvenzio. Where are we hanging out at Mania? That's a you question, my man.
Oh shit. I've been looking at a few places. Whenever I go anywhere, I'm very meticulous. Like I like to scout out. I'm the guy who goes to a restaurant and looks at the menu, acting like I haven't been studying it for 2 weeks prior.
There you go.
Right. Like I'm like, oh, I wonder what I'm gonna order, and I already freaking know. One place I was thinking of, it kind of almost seems like we have to go, is El Segundo Brewing. because they're the ones who make the Broken Skull.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like
Yeah.
the IPA. I don't like the IPA at
I
all.
don't either.
But the American Lager
Okay.
that tastes like a stone cold beer.
Okay. I'll
Like when
trust
I
you.
drink the IPA, I'm like, I could not see Stone Cold drinking this.
Yeah.
But then they did the American Lager. I'm like, I could see him drinking this all day.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you know
Interesting. Yeah.
that may be a cool place to go.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a few places I'm looking at, but you know, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah. Now you're leaving Thursday after work, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm leaving Thursday after work. I'm spending Thursday and Friday with a friend out in Pasadena,
Oh, that's awesome.
and then Saturday morning they're gonna bring me over to the hotel stadium area, and you know
That's
I've
it.
got a hotel booked for Saturday and Sunday by the stadium.
Yeah. Are you doing SmackDown or Raw?
No, I'm flying out Monday. You know,
Okay.
I've done the whole like
Yeah.
4-day wrestling thing. Like when Survivor Series was here a few years ago, you know, they did War Games, they did Survivor Series, they did Raw, and that's when they were still doing SmackDown on Tuesdays.
Oh yeah.
And by SmackDown, I had no energy left. Like I was just like dead on my feet.
Yeah.
And even last year at Mania, like I went to so many like indie shows, which
Yeah.
you know, it's something I've always wanted to do.
Of course.
But man, by the end of the weekend, I was just so exhausted. So I'm like, just gonna do Mania, you know, hang out with some people afterwards.
Yeah.
It'll be good, you know.
Not
gonna kill myself this weekend.
Yeah. Now you and Joe will be there Saturday and Sunday.
Correct. Yes.
Andrew might be there Sunday.
He might be. Yeah. So like the thing with Andrew, he's got a wedding in Austin.
Yeah.
You know, and we looked like I broke down like what realistically would have to happen for him.
Yeah.
So he would drive to Austin, and then Sunday morning drive to the airport, fly to LA, go to Mania, fly back Monday, go get his car from the airport, and then have to drive back to Houston. Like that just doesn't sound like a great time.
Yeah, no, that's
so. I don't blame him if he doesn't go. You know, I totally get it, but I think the only other wrestling thing I'm doing is today. Actually, I booked a photo and autograph with Asuka, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah, I had an idea. I bought Drew's photo op, and I was like, okay, cool. I'll buy Liv's soon enough. Check today, it's sold out. I was like, what? Oh, Liv is sold out. Bianca, no. Drew, no. Taker, no. Liv, yes.
Check again because they added 50 more tickets. I got an email about it.
I'm about to check on that.
It's like Rhea, Ray, and Liv had sold out, and they added 50 more for each.
I had a plan, and I told my buddy, I'm like, listen, this was the plan, and I'm sorry.
Right.
He's a big Liv Morgan fan, but he's not coming to Cali. So, you know, Ryan asks, Eric or Bobby, did you ever play any of the SmackDown vs. Raw games? Of course.
It's literally the reason I bought a PS2.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they were games. So good. Even like the original, like the SmackDown, like Here Comes the Pain, and you know,
I love that game.
Like where the HD remasters of those?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. SmackDown versus, I mean, Here Comes the Pain. That was the first game I ever had, and it was
right.
I think it's my favorite game ever.
Yeah.
I have to say it. I'm a little biased, but
you know, when I was making my wrestler, like the move I had to give him was, it's a move for you, but you get punched. And he did the Brock Lesnar thing when he first showed up, where he gets hit and he's like, and then just clotheslines the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I have to have that move, you know. And you know, I didn't make my guy like a super heavyweight or anything, so it just kind of looked funny.
And good call, Liv Morgan is back on there, so
you
have to get on there. Yeah, Bailey's sold out.
Yeah, Bailey sold out.
Drew is sold out now.
Oh wow.
Good thing. Rhea and Ray are still sold out. It says.
So they must have resold back out.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. Now I can do something with it. Okay. All right. So, oh wait, I'm sorry. Who is your favorite black and gold NXT superstar, and what's your thoughts on Jay White? Okay.
Black and gold superstar Johnny Gargano.
I was like, let me see if I can guess it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, I love me some Adam Cole. He's cool
Yeah.
as shit, but Gargano, like seeing him win that title,
Mm.
at Takeover Brooklyn, during
Yeah.
35.
Mm.
He came out with like the Iron Man gear,
Yeah.
like that was such a good show, and that was just like the perfect ending.
Mm.
And then the best part was leaving the stadium or Barclays Center. They had like the Johnny Champion shirt,
Oh yeah.
and it was just like, yeah, I have to buy that right now.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be handing out our podcast cards, and I'm in line buying a Johnny Champion shirt.
Yeah.
As far as Jay White,
Yeah.
I've seen some of his stuff, but
Yeah.
like you can be the best superstar in the world, but when you come to WWE, you don't have any control over your booking.
Yep.
So you could be awesome, but you could be booked like shit, and we've seen it happen.
Yeah. Harley says SmackDown vs. Raw 07, classic.
Is that the one where it's like Vince's face is like halved and like one eye's red, one eye's blue?
I think that's the year before. I could be wrong.
Like 06?
I could be wrong on that. I remember which one you're talking about. Harley might have to. All right. Juvenzio or Ben, we dressed up as idiots for San Antonio. Are we doing something similar? I remember that picture.
Photos?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I remember scrolling on. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we all had like these cowboy shirts. That was fantastic.
Yeah. Harley says Day of Reckoning on the GameCube was so underrated. Never hear anyone talk about it. Now, funny fact about Harley, he's like 19 and he knows all this. That's how long he's been.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No. I've known Harley since he was like 5, maybe even earlier, and he's been a wrestling fan the whole time.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then he says the Vince covers 06. Good call.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I knew he would know.
Right.
But all right. Okay. Your favorite wrestler of all time, Shawn Michaels, right?
No.
Yeah, I know.
No, sir.
I'm just kidding. I know.
Kurt Angle.
Yep.
By far. Yeah.
Yep.
I met him a couple times. I met him after he retired, and I met him during his Perk Angle phase in Impact Wrestling. Let me tell you, this meet and greet was at like a bar after like a TNA house show here in Houston.
Yeah.
That dude was blitzed. Like, I had been drinking a lot. He clearly was drinking.
Of course.
And I had like one of those like I love you man moments, like, oh my god, you're my favorite wrestler. He's like, I love hearing stuff like that. And so it was fun, And of course, like we're there, and Shelton Benjamin shows up, and he was already gone from WWE.
Oh.
So it was like, oh, Shelton Benjamin to Impact Wrestling? Rumors,
Rumors. Love that song. Don't ever change it. I know people want to change, but I personally love it.
Well, we need to update the, like Balor Club to finally get a second member.
Yeah.
There's no Balor Club,
But the WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
That you have to keep that.
That has to
true.
Stay. That has to stay because I think it's coming. Harley, a real one on John. Yeah, he is. He is. And Clout God Harley. Let's go. Eric knows what's up. Yeah. Yeah. I met Kurt. Very nice guy. Very nice. I wasn't sure at first because I was like, I could see him going either way, but super nice guy.
He's going to be at WrestleCon, and I'd love for my Milk-O-Mania set to get signed by him.
Yeah.
And his autographs he's actually charging less this year than he was last year, which made no sense.
Yeah, I don't
know. But the only thing that sucks about WrestleCon is the admission is like really expensive.
Yeah, we're doing 2 sessions.
Yeah.
It was cheaper last year.
You're doing 2 sessions?
Yeah, there's people in both sessions I want to meet. I'm believe it or not, I'm meeting Goldberg. Believe it or not.
Oh my god.
I know you guys are gonna have a field day with that one, but
shit. Wow.
Yeah, he's
Oh
stunned.
my,
I
wow.
got him.
You got to share all the pictures.
Oh, I will. Yeah, Tony Storm. I don't. Did you meet her last year?
I did. I got a
Yeah.
picture and I got an autograph because my brother had a booth at
Yeah.
WrestleCon last year, and he had brought Maven.
Yeah. I was on the
Yeah,
flight with Maven.
yeah, and so at the restaurant my brother manages, he's doing like a WrestleMania party this year, and
Okay.
he's gonna have Maven host night too.
Oh,
And he
that's
got
sick.
someone to make a replica of the Tough Enough trophy. So they're going to be doing photos with the Tough Enough trophy and Maven.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
sick. Okay, so
right.
I guess Maven won't be in Cali again. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm meeting Tony Storm again, and usually I don't meet people twice, but
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try and secure an interview. You know,
You never know.
yeah, exactly. Worst case is she says no, whatever.
True.
But
Yeah.
it's worth a shot, and she was really cool actually. So
Right.
yeah,
Maybe I'll bring my Kurt Angle Milkomania set and just
yeah.
give you the money to get that autograph for me.
I'll do it. I'm at sessions 1 and 3, I believe.
One
So
and
that's
three.
Friday morning, Saturday morning. Yeah, it was much better last year. They did a Thursday night session, which I was at.
Yeah.
We didn't have much to do Thursday night.
Right.
And then, but this time it's like Friday morning, Friday night, or Friday morning, Saturday morning. I don't even know. But they're doing a Sunday, and I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No, yeah. And I think that's the one that Sasha's at.
She's at session 4. Yeah, she is.
That last one, yeah.
Yeah, it's exclusively. I met her last year at the airport, which I asked her for a picture. Thought she was gonna be like no, but she was very polite, very nice. I was shocked.
Right.
I was like, okay.
I think they're more apprehensive now about people who show up with like posters and pens in their faces.
Yeah.
Like a picture is not as big of a deal as like, can you sign these 17 pops for me?
It's ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Make them out to my friend. Winning bid.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I went up to Sasha and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. Can I just get a quick photo?" And she was just like, "Sure." Got up, took the picture, and that was it. She wasn't chatting me up, but I was like, "Hey, I mean, you didn't say no, you didn't curse me out.
Right? Yeah.
Cool with it. Yeah.
Right.
Let's go. I've been hooked on the New Japan stuff, watching all over the Bullet Club. Who's your favorite leader out of all of them? Oh,
probably AJ.
Yeah, AJ or Finn. I mean, was Finn a leader? I think.
Yeah, he was the original leader.
Yeah. And would you want to see a rerun of the club? Aren't we kind of seeing it right now?
With me,
my chin. Yeah, but then AJ broke his ankle, so
yeah, that's kind of a bummer. He's not at Mania.
Yeah, I thought he would be back by now. I really would. I really would. Yeah. And then Ryan says Alicia to WWE. Do you know who that is?
She's like an interviewer, right?
Yeah, I had her on my channel in January. Really cool. Yeah. I mean, she came on when I had like 100 subs. So it's like, I appreciate her coming on. I mean, she just got released from MLW.
Okay.
So she said she has her eyes on AEW and anywhere. So I'm like, cool. Yeah. That would be great. Yeah.
I mean, AEW could use some decent interviewers,
Yeah.
WWE, I feel like they cycle through them a lot, so she may be there for a bit and then
be gone.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd prefer her, but I mean, either company I'm good with because it's a step up for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go over these fan questions.
Oh boy.
I got them. Yeah. So Jalen Silva says, yeah, right here. Question for Eric Hamilton. Why are you letting this plug happen? Big fan, push Eric.
I've been on a few podcasts, If people want me and they ask nicely and I don't mind. If I can work it in my schedule, which, this worked fine.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I asked you like a year ago when I didn't even have a channel.
Maybe.
Sure. Yeah, I was like, hey, if you want to ever come on, I would love it.
Right, and then you had to get with my agent. And no.
Of course, I had to go through the ringer for this one.
Right, yeah. I mean, Jalen, if you get a podcast and it's something, you want to talk wrestling, if I can work it out, I'll do it.
Yeah, Jalen is an indie wrestler. It's really good. Check out his stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. He says, big fan, push Eric.
Of course.
So the whole thing with What's Wrong with Wrestling is don't be plugging other podcasts.
Uh-huh.
I figured it was okay if I plugged this one because, well, he's in it.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, because they were like, because I had to run it by Juvenzio and Nate. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna plug this one. They were like, since he's in it, we'll allow it. I'm like, this is the time I can plug it. I
Right.
can't plug anything
Because like
else.
we've had people join the group just to like plug their podcast.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like literally the What's Wrong with Wrestling podcast group.
yeah,
They're like, hey, come listen to my podcast.
yeah. Come listen
So
to my podcast.
yeah, right.
That's funny. All right. Oh, God, I can't even read that. Mark something. Where's the cookbook in all caps? He says.
Oh, geez. Okay, so story behind that,
Yeah.
is usually I try to make some sort of themed meal for pay-per-views that we watch,
Yep.
at Andrew's house. So I've done like Eliminacho Chamber and Hell in a Shell, which was like, spicy stuffed shells. And, I've done a bunch of things. And Andrew just said it jokingly one time.
Yeah.
And now everyone's like, where's the damn cookbook? And like, that's the thing. Like, I don't I don't type out recipes. Like I don't follow, like I'm not measuring everything I use. Like I eyeball a lot. So I mean I'll try to write them down and send out some ingredients and see what we can do.
Fair
It's
enough.
a big endeavor for sure,
Yeah. This is from our friend Nate Smythe. Push Fireberry super fans. Now this one might be tough. He's got to think about it. Yeah.
Okay.
He put me, Bobby Sam,
All
Nate
right.
Smythe, and Juvenzio Valenzuela.
Oh man.
Yeah. So just remember there is the end button here. We could
yeah.
in case the answer isn't correct.
Right, dump button.
Yeah, it's right here. I mean, I could see
Right.
it. No, I'm just kidding. You can. I mean, you've probably known them longer. I mean,
I'm going to I'm gonna fire up a joint, and then I'm gonna push us all into a grave and bury us together.
all right, that's a very good answer. Nobody can be wrong about that one.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah. From Eric Wayand, can he replace Josh on the AEW pod?
Trust me, I'd love to do AEW. I'd love to do Hogwash, but it's like I think they do AEW on Thursdays and they do Hogwash on Sundays, and that's like Andrew lives like 30 miles from me.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of back and forth. Like if we could do them like this, I would totally do them every week.
Doing it twice a week could be a little.
Yeah.
Right. Actually, it was funny. Shrek Jackson said, "And on Hogwash."
Yeah. Right.
Now, I may be in the minority here. I was like, I love Josh. I feel like he's that guy you have to have on the show. He's comedic relief, even though he's not trying.
Or funny.
Well, at some point, when he was reading the Dr. Seuss book, I was hysterically crying.
Right. And it's funny. So many people have asked me. They're like, "So is it just like that's how he is on the show?" I'm like, "No, not at all. I've witnessed this stuff in person."
I wish I could meet him.
Right.
I really do.
When we were waiting to get into the Rumble, he just starts squatting. And I'm like, are you gonna like drop a deuce or something? Like, what is this? He's like, oh, just working out, doing my squat. Like, guy, come on. Act like you've been there.
Yeah.
And by there, I mean out in public.
Anywhere.
Anywhere at all.
And then Mark commented back to Eric saying no, because Eric can actually spell. Oh, there he goes again. Is he? Yeah. He'll be back, I think. I hope it's not on my end. Ooh, thought he'd be back by now. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me because he said because Eric can actually spell.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was from Mark. And then Aaron Garcia, it's not a question. He goes, so that's what buying a shirt gets you, me having you on. I was like, that's actually pretty
Right.
funny.
You know, Aaron says that, but I've been on his podcast.
I didn't know that. Oh,
Front Row Negative with him and Chris.
I'm gonna have to make fun of him now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Michael
Right.
Michael Navarro. I actually know the answer to this. Ask him if he is a soccer fan, because I swear I saw him at a Dynamo game on Saturday. Yes, you
You,
are.
yeah, and you did
Yeah.
see me there,
Yeah.
and you should
Yeah.
have come up and said hi.
Yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go,
Right.
Michael. Now you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because I
then
would have shown him the picture of me and Bun B, you know,
yeah.
which is like a Houston rapper. If
Oh,
people
okay.
who
I
don't
was
know,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I have no idea.
yeah. Is that
I
a
thought it was
burger
I
place?
thought it was I thought it was the mascot. I was like, cool.
That,
I don't watch
that'd be great.
soccer. I was like, I don't watch
He's
soccer.
like Houston's unofficial mascot
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah. And of course, it ends with the MJF gif saying "you bleeping Mark," of course.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. Now I do want to show off. I uploaded these earlier today. This is from Houston, 2020, right before the pandemic, about a month and a half before.
Oh yeah.
That's at I don't even remember the name of the bar.
I don't even think it exists anymore.
Really, it was right outside the stadium.
Yeah, I know. They did. The pandemic happened, and I think it closed
Yeah.
down. You know.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still have that WrestleMania jersey.
That's sick. I love
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
I'm
because that's from WrestleMania 9 or not 19,
35.
35, right? I
Yep.
didn't even know who you guys were at that point.
Yeah,
And you
and
were in my
that's
home state? Yeah.
they did the customization. They're doing the customization, so I got the Slamilton on it,
That's awesome.
and
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if they have them again because it's got to look cool.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
you know, I might get it. We'll
Yeah, I
see.
feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you went to 35, 38, 30, and you'll be at 39, right? You didn't do 37, right?
No, no.
37 was Tampa?
Tampa again, where 36
Yeah.
was going to be. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, no 36 for anybody.
Right.
And then yeah,
I've done 17, 25, 29,
that's sick.
32. That was in Dallas.
Yes, 32 was in Dallas. Did you do 33 in
New Orleans.
Orlando? Oh
No.
wait.
So 34 in New Orleans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then 35, 38,
39
and 39, and then 40 next year in
is
Philly.
in Philly. Yep, that's
We're
an
gonna
hour
go get
away
silly
from
in
me.
Philly.
Yeah, silly in Philly. Yeah, because when I was like, all right, before the Philly was announced, I'm like, all right, Cali's probably gonna be my last one because I was like Dallas and Cali back to back. I'm like, that's But then they announced Philly, and I'm like, well,
right. When
it's a
you
drive.
can drive there,
Yeah.
it's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
you
I'm
know?
like, well, yeah. But I don't even know if you remember this. When I met you guys that day in 2020, it was Joe. He's like, "Oh, where are you from, man?" And I'm like, "Oh, New Jersey." And "Oh, New Jersey?" And
Right.
I'm like, "Ha ha ha."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
yeah.
It was like, oh, we get to bust out the accents.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I was like, of course.
Right.
It was actually funny. I had my dad there for the Rumble, so he was at the bar. He was kind of off to the side. I'm like, these guys aren't exactly clean, so just be prepared.
You could have said PG, but okay.
Yeah,
You know,
like they're not
these
exactly.
guys aren't
Yeah,
clean.
yeah. He
You
goes
got
and by
legs.
the oh like yeah, but he's like really? I'm like yeah, and by the end of it he goes yeah, I see what you said.
Yeah, right.
But he thought it was funny, and then we met one of my good friends there now, Justin Harvey. He's a member. They sat next to my father at the bar, and I go back over, and I'm like, who are these people? Because it's not like they're just sitting next to him; they're on the same bench as him, and I'm like,
Right.
what just happened? Because I'm like, I go to listen to the pod, and I'm like, but now, and we went to Mania last year. You probably remember from the live show, yeah.
Right.
I grabbed the mic, and you were like, tell the story. Yeah, you were like, we need this.
It's cool, like, because I have like friends and stuff, on Facebook, and like you see like, oh, this person has these mutual friends, and like how many of you guys have like friended each other on Facebook because of the pod group. It's cool to see. You know, I got quite a few. You know, I call them wrestle friends. You know,
wrestle friends.
You know, I always see them at shows, and you know, it's great. It's like a second family almost.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, Nate Juvenzio,
Yeah.
heck, I can't even. Justin, dude, all through the pod, and it's like that's awesome. That's like I get why people poke fun of wrestling, but it's like it brings you together, man.
Right. It's like any community, you know.
Yeah. Like at wrestling events, I've met some of the coolest people, and then I've met some of the strangest people.
For sure.
Yeah. When we were in Houston, the lines like merged to get into the Rumble, and I met the guy in line. He was drunk as anything.
Sure.
We're like 5 people back, and he's like, "Hey, my family, can you let them in?" I'm not related to the guy. Let's just say we're not the same, you know.
Yeah.
And they let us in, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I had to get you up here." And he goes, "I gotta tell you, I'm drunk." I'm like, "I know."
Yeah.
He's like, "But I Ubered," and I'm like, "Good." And then we get in. He goes the other way. I never saw him again.
Nope. Yeah. Right.
Never saw him again.
Like, there's a guy I'm friends with on Instagram who sat behind me at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah.
And he's in the picture with me, Andrew, and David Arquette that we took, because David Arquette was a few rows in front of us.
That's wow.
And he walks up, and I'm like, "Oh, is that David Arquette? Oh, that's David Arquette." And like we make eye contact, and he starts like slowing down, like, "Are you gonna want to come and say hi?" I'm like, "Hey, David Arquette, can you take a picture?" He's like, "Totally."
Yeah, I met him. Yeah, I met him last year at a convention.
Yeah.
Dude was, he was a little drunk, but it's okay.
Sure.
He had paint on his pants. I have no idea what was going on that day.
He was probably at an indie show earlier.
Yeah, because I got the picture. I put it in the sleeve, and I see the pants, and I'm like, I didn't notice it when I went in there, and I'm like, did they just mess up my photo? And then I see my buddies, I see everybody else's. I'm like, oh no, those are the pants he's wearing.
Yeah, right.
I'm
they may be weird. Fashionable, you know. Yeah. You probably paid extra for that.
I was like, man, you do you got the money for that for sure.
Sure.
Yeah. What else was oh yeah, my last question, because we've gone over actually 2 more questions. Favorite wrestler you met and you can't say Kurt Angle?
Okay. Nigel McGuinness.
Really?
Wow.
Okay.
So this was at that same bar post TNA house show.
Okay.
And so this is where, like, right after like they had signed Bryan Danielson to WWE, and everyone thought, you know, Nigel McGuinness was going to be signed, and he ended up not, because like he had an injury. Like he talked about later, he had an injury that he never got surgery for. And they're like, "Nope, you're a liability. Sorry."
I remember that.
He ends up going to Impact, and we're talking to him at this bar, and you know, we're like, "Yeah, you know, it's a good thing you didn't sign with WWE, because your name probably would have been like Guinness McNigel or some dumb shit like that." And he thought that was so funny. He actually signed my TNA program Guinness McNigel. I'm like, that's the coolest shit ever.
Yeah,
you know?
that's cool.
Yeah.
And you met EC3, right? Wasn't he really cool?
EC3, I met him at a bar. He was cool. Yeah. Like, someone said, like, "Oh, good match," and he's like, "I died for your sins tonight."
Yeah.
Probably my second favorite, though, would be Melina last year at WrestleCon.
Yes.
Because we literally stood there and had like a 45-minute conversation.
Yeah. She's so nice.
She's super nice. Like, if she was at WrestleCon again this year, I would probably go just to go talk to her again.
I mean, she wasn't advertised last year and she showed up, so...
Really?
Yeah, because I was like... I remember I'm like, Melina was here.
Yeah.
Like, I would have met her.
Yeah. All right, well, you might have to do some recon. If she's there, you know,
I'll
go meet her again.
because I met her in June in New Jersey, and
Yeah.
so nice. I'm like, oh my goodness,
The
yeah,
nicest freaking person.
yeah. You're gonna probably scoff at this one, but I met Top Dollar last year.
Okay. Yeah.
The nicest guy,
Sure. Sure.
the nicest. Like I was chatting with him for like 20 minutes, and he was
Yeah.
yeah, he was so cool, and I'm
Was this
like,
like post WWE?
uh, April 2022, so he was released at this point. He came
Okay.
back in July or August, like
Something like
four
that.
months later. Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, good for you, man. I know these guys are something else on TV, but like when they're actually nice human beings, you're like, you want to root for them, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
Tony Storm was another one. I was chatting with her for like 20 minutes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Because she just debuted on AEW like the night before.
Right.
Yeah, and she's like, with her accent, she goes, "Is that your real voice?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Go ahead, go ahead."
No. No. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. And she's like, "Is that your real voice?" And I'm like, "Yeah, why?" She goes, I've seen all these American movies because she's Australian. She goes, "I thought you guys were just lying with your voices on the movies. Turns out they're real." I'm like, "Huh."
Thank you.
Yeah, and she goes, "You sound like you're an actor." I'm like, well, "Tony
Well,
Storm, you're like my new favorite."
right.
Hi,
You're
but
like,
yeah,
calm down, Paul Hogan. Okay.
yeah. But I was like, she's so cool, but she's like, "Say your real voice." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah." But no, yeah. Who else? Yeah, I'm meeting Goldberg. I was actually gonna meet the Young Bucks. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah, we'll see with that. I don't even know who else. It would kind of just be like if I in the moment. Have you met Adam Cole?
No.
Yeah. I
No.
met him last
My
year.
brother got something signed for me
Mm.
at a con of Adam Cole. I did meet Britt Baker. She was really nice.
Actually, I'm gonna get in Brit's line again this year. Because I
Yeah.
just remembered I wore this shirt the day I met her.
Uh huh.
She looked at the shirt and she goes, "Huh, nice." So I'm gonna have to be like, "Are you a fan of What's Wrong with Wrestling?"
Right.
'Cause she
Get the
could be.
scoop.
Yeah, I was like, because I told Andrew about it. He goes, "Was she a fan?" I'm like, "I don't know. I believe."
Right. Yeah. No,
He's
she
like,
was
he's like,
really
"Get the info,
nice.
man." Yeah, no, Britt and Adam Cole both were super nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Cole was just energetic, like always. And I'm like, great, what a great guy. He's there again this year.
Right.
Um, I don't even. I would have to go through the lineup, but like, it was a better lineup last year, in my opinion. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was like,
There was a
yeah, I
lot of
mean,
AEW talent last year.
yeah, there was Jungle Boy, Baker Cole, Christian.
Christian,
Um,
Mox.
yeah, wasn't Mox there for like a session? But
Yeah.
didn't he no show or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Ric Flair no showed one of his sessions and then showed up to the wrong one. I remember that.
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, it checks out.
Right.
It checks out.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, "Oh, Flair's here." I'm like, "What do you mean Flair's here? He's not supposed to be here." They were like,
Right.
"He's here."
He
I'm
just
like,
showed up.
"All
What do you tell him? No.
right, cool." And I got his line. It was only like 5 people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Cool." Oh, Ricky Starks. I think he would be a cool meet.
Yeah.
Um, Tessa Blanchard. I don't know. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that one's
I
iffy,
know
but
she has like heat throughout like the backstage wrestling world,
yeah,
but I mean if she's nice to fans,
yeah,
that's all
that's
that
what I'm saying.
matters.
And I'm in interview mode, so I'm like, she's not signed to anybody, so I'm like,
Right.
hey, if you want to come on the channel,
Yeah.
but like I said, worst they can do is say no.
Yeah.
Worst
Right.
they can do is say no. Yeah,
Like that's the epitome of shoot your shot.
yeah, exactly. Everybody that has said no to me, they're like, I appreciate you asking, and I understand why you're doing it. Just no, thank you. And they've
Yeah.
all been nice. They're like,
Right. Yeah.
and I tell them, I'm like, I had to ask. They're like, no, you should. And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
No, me and Joe asked Adam Page when he was here during Comic Palooza,
oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, unfortunately, I can't." And I'm like, "Hey,
Yeah.
nope, no worries,
Yeah,
man."
yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure they get it all the time. As long, just don't be a jerk about it. Just don't be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're just like, hey, I can't, and it's like, all right, cool, I get it. You're tied down to whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I do like Adam Page a lot. I know the guys rag on him a lot,
Yeah.
but
I
I do
mean,
like him a lot.
as a person, he was super nice.
Yeah.
You know, because I asked him to sign the figure Slamilton,
Oh yeah.
and he asked what the story about that was. So
Oh,
that's
that's
kind of
sick.
how we
Yeah.
segued to the podcast.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I
it's
mean,
like,
might as
hey, you
well.
know, if you want to record like a little sound bite or something
Uh,
for us,
mm,
that'd be cool.
mm. Oh,
Yeah,
I just thought Jake the Snake I'm gonna meet.
I met him last year.
Yeah, he signed it bottom
Bottom
left.
left. Yeah.
We won't get into what exactly that is, but if you're a
Right.
fan, you
Right.
know.
I
Um,
didn't want to get into it with him. What exactly it was?
does he know? Oh wait, yeah, he does because he signed it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just like, "Can you sign it bottom left?" He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's it's like a little sound bite on our podcast. It's an inside joke." He's like, "All right, yeah, bottom left." I
Yeah,
didn't want to
yeah.
say like it's a clip of you saying "bust a nut."
I'm
You
sure he would
know?
have been like, all right, cool.
Yeah, he probably just would have wrote "bust a nut."
Yeah, I probably would
He probably would have. Yeah.
have. Oh man. Right. I would like to be respectful of your time, so I'm gonna. This will be that. Hey
All
man,
right.
thank you. We went over the allotted time. I am sorry. I just
No,
realized that. Yeah, I get
perfectly fine.
distracted, and yeah. I'd love to have you on again someday.
Sure.
Yeah. If heck, if you want to join my WrestleMania stream Saturday night, Nate's gonna be in it. I'll send you an invite gladly. What perfect timing! Are you are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, because
All right.
I sent it out and your eyes went to the side like,
Uh,
oh, yeah. And it's like, I started cracking up. I'm like, what perfect timing. But yeah,
right, right, of
invites
course.
open, of
Yeah.
course. You
Might have
know,
to get some like Wi-Fi extenders or something,
yeah, yeah. But
So,
yeah, yeah, we got no more comments. But yeah, thanks for joining me, man. I
yeah,
appreciate it. I'll have you on
absolutely.
again someday, maybe when I'm a little bigger.
You know,
You know.
don't forget
Yeah.
us about us small guys,
I'll try not to, you know,
Yeah,
and maybe one day I can get the other two on. Who knows?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
always worth a shot.
yeah, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Like
Uh,
less than 10 days?
yeah, Mania's
Uh,
9 days out.
yeah.
Let's say Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So 9 days from night one.
Right. Like this time next week I'll be flying out there, so.
Wow. Yeah, actually, you know what? Actually, so will I. I'm leaving at like 1 o'clock my time, and I'll be
Nice.
arriving like 7 something
Uh-huh.
because of a layover
Oh, yeah.
in Georgia of all things. I'm like,
Oh, cool.
yeah, but we can't even leave the airport or anything. It's like,
No, right, yeah.
yeah, it's like, all
Can't do
right,
anything
well,
fun.
I guess we could stretch our legs and get something to eat,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yeah,
You gotta
but
love airport food.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
thank you to everybody who commented and joined. If I missed your comment, I apologize. I don't think I did. Um, yeah, thanks again, Eric, and we'll see everybody. If you want to, I'll see you all Saturday night for my WrestleMania predictions. I will have Nate on and my other buddies, and yeah. But until then, I'm Bobby from Bobby's Breakdowns with Eric from What's Wrong with Wrestling, and I will see you in the next one, guys. See you later. And broadcast.